The sun is beginning to set on Cambridge, Massachusetts as we get set for the 16th all-time matchup between two of the longest-standing women's lacrosse programs in history. The Harvard Crimson host the Holy Cross Crusaders in one of the last non-conference matchups of the season on ESPN. Welcome inside the press box at Jordan Field. Katie Bennett alongside Ben Altscher, and Matt Corsetti is roaming the sidelines for us today. Ben, both of these teams coming off of two very different last games, both ranked opponents, but it goes very differently for both of these teams.
Yeah, Harvard coming off their biggest win of the season, knocking off 12th-ranked Duke on the road down in Durham. Holy Cross went up against the Titan in Navy over the weekend. Ultimately fell short in that one, only scoring 3 goals, but still a valuable learning lesson for the Crusaders. And for Harvard, it's trying to string together 2 solid performances.
For their offense, what's your key today for the Crimson?
Well, they got to do what they did against Duke, which is find the hot hand. That time it was Kate Gilliam, but ultimately it doesn't have to be a singular player for Harvard. They just need to find the best matchup, and they find a good option early here.
Cecilia Batchelder, she has a great cut, gets wide open in the middle of the 8, and she comes in. Mark, and Harvard will take it away. So this is going to be the name of the game from what we've seen so far early. Holy Cross with 3 straight draw control wins. Can Harvard get another one in transition? Oh, it's a great extra pass, and Cecilia Batchelder has 2 already.
Well, you mentioned the temp.
Got to stick in the way, I believe. And now Batchelder will get it. Oh, and she'll get the hat trick early.
Well, a quick restart. Holy Cross was not ready. Again, Harvard recognizing that
take the free position. She is 6 of 12 on the year, and she will have the extra pass. Oh, and go to her sister again. She's got 4 goals in this game. She had 5 on the season coming in.
I had a quick look over her shoulder, recognized that she could go back to goal and draw the whistle.
First free position shot of the year for Emerson Madura, and she bounces it low and beats Cray. 5th goal of the year for the first quarter. You feel very good no matter who's scoring the goals. What was your key to this game? Finding the hot hand? So far has been Cecilia Batchelder. Oh, wide open in front is Grace Malahy, and she flies that one top corner. Flop. Oh, what great extra passing! And a lot of contact around the crease.
I think that was Batchelder.
Yep, Callie Batchelder takes an extra soon as Holy Cross goes back to full strength.
Look out.
Harvard wins it back. Here comes the transition for the Crimson. Oh, and a beautiful one from Grace Malahy. That's her 2nd of the day.
She's just getting back to even strength before the whistle here.
Batchelder will decide to go all the way in this time, and she will beat Cray on the left side. The Batchelder sisters have been going off in this.
Harvard has gotten into these situations, these sort of settled half-court offense, if you will. It has not been easy as Hodgson finally gets on the board with a free position chance.
First one for the day for her. Not often this season have we, because it went straight to her. Harvard looking for the dodge up top. Balzer go to Hodgson. Oh, goes all the way across body. Tough shot for Charlotte Hodgson. She's now got 2 in a row.
Well, clearly.
Many times in a row, or else referee is going to see it eventually.
Yeah, as Balzer was sort of curling back in the cage. You know, there was 1 bump, there was 2 bumps, and then the 3rd bump was 1 too many.
Harvard's extra passing has already been so good on the day. Kind of hard to believe they haven't scored woman up. Oh, coming in from far and above the 12 is Kate Gilliam, and she'll get her first one of the day. Gilliam
Might start to affect this game a little bit.
It was beautiful when you and I showed up here at about 4:30, and it has gotten cold. Nice pass into the middle. Oh, no! Angle shot from Malahy. How did she get that one past Cray?
It was right over the top, using that big reach. See if you can double up on this woman up opportunity and all but put this game away.
First non-releasable we've seen today as Gilliam goes inside, beats her dodger. It would have been shooting space anyway. And she's got her 2nd of the day, and she picks up the ground ball, so she will, in her first career game as a Crimson, be on the stat sheet at least. Hodgson looking for the centering pass. She'll find Cecilia Batchelder, comes over, switches to her left, and she'll find the goal.
Oof, that is a pivot.
5 goals. Mentioned it. I mean, this is an Ivy League that the last few years has been absolutely outstanding. They were a 4-bid league last year. So yes, the 0-2 start doesn't look great. Oh, is the another extra pass, and it's the Batchelder sisters once again. They had been slowed down in this third quarter. As it was Gilliam, it was Hodgson who were finding the
Out there.
Still Callie Batchelder with the ball way below goal line extended, and moving the goaltender is Cecilia Batchelder. So sister to sister again. What a point. Gray is going to try to get one last pass off Owen. There's going to be one more turnover, but clock sounds as Koch heads to the net, and so Harvard is going to come away with a very convincing win and a really big one again before their matchup with Ivy League opponent Brown.
Yeah, it was going to be interesting to see, right? How do they respond to the big win over Duke? Does it kind of show to be a bit of a fluke victory on the road, or do they maintain sort of the level of play that they had in that upset over the Blue Devils? I think we certainly got our answer in that they were able to maintain that level. Back-to-back wins for the first time all year for this group. Came in with some high hopes, right? Preseason top 25, so now maybe they're starting to find that level that they thought they could be at. Perfect time to have it, too, going back into a key Ivy League game against Brown this weekend.
Well, and again, you go to 3 of their losses. They are playing top 20 ranked teams. Notre Dame was the first of the year. Then they played Princeton and BC back-to-back. They lose those 3 all against ranked opponents. Their only loss to a non-ranked opponent who had themselves quite a day. Matt?
Thank you very much, Katie. Joined here by Callie and Cecilia Batchelder. Callie, first for you, crossed the 100 career point mark here this evening. See it right there, and obviously setting your sister up for the goal. How special is it for you to be able to not only cross that threshold, but set your sister up for what was your 100th career point?
It's so special. It's honestly the coolest thing in the world, not only to wear the Harvard jersey, but to wear it with my sister, and there's no better way to spend it, and I'm so happy that I can do it alongside with her. Yeah.
Now, Cecilia, the question for you is, when we tell this story years down the road with the rest of your family, was it a phenomenal pass or was it a better finish?
Probably a better finish, but I honestly couldn't have done it without her, so.
And you had 5 goals on the season coming into tonight. You finished with 6, double hat trick tonight. What got on you?
I'm not really sure. I think I was just feel so supported by my teammates, and they fired me up after every goal, and I just felt so empowered by them to keep going.
And looking at your schedule, you guys are getting ready to kind of head into Ivy play now. Big game coming up against Brown. What's the refocus and the reset, you being one of the upper class leaders on this team?
Yeah, I think the whole message this season has been don't look in the past, just all eyes ahead. And Ivy play is so exciting, and we know how intense that gets. And so I think it's just all eyes straight ahead, and just get back at it tomorrow and prepare and get hopefully our first Ivy win on Saturday.
Now the real question: who has the better shot in the family?
I can't say. It's yeah, it's probably her. I can give it to her.
All right, well, congratulations on the win tonight. Congratulations on a couple of big nights. 100 points to you, new career high in goals in a game as well. Best of luck going forward. Batchelder, and we've got head coach Devin Wills coming over right now. And looking at this game early on, a lot of transition offense for you early. Those 2 young women obviously carrying the load of the offense. But as the game progressed, we saw a lot of different players stepping in. We saw Charlotte Hodgson stepping in for you as well. Malahi obviously being able to produce. How important is it to have that depth and plurality of offense?
Yeah, it's really helpful to have a lot of different scoring threats, a lot of different looks. I think Holy Cross did a great job of adjusting to our sets, and then it was nice to see some new faces kind of step up, or just some faces who hadn't contributed yet really contribute in a new way.
Looking on the other side of the coin, defensively tonight, I believe you only allowed 1 free position opportunity for the first 3 quarters, 1 round so for the game. What does that say to you in terms of what your team was able to do defensively in their structure?
Yeah, they're really doing a good job of getting some pressure farther outside of the 8-meter, so anything that we're kind of fouling out there isn't really putting anybody on the 8, so they're doing a really good job of just, again, disrupting an offense without fouling and playing clean.
One of those players that always seems to be disrupting on the back end, Despina Giannakopoulos. Just talk about what she's able to do. It seems like every time you look down at the game, she's either forcing transition, going the other way. She always has, several ground balls, several caused turnovers. Just seems to be everywhere all at once.
Yeah, she had a great night. She was everywhere. She was in the midfield. She was causing some checks in the ride. She was coming with ground balls. She was everywhere. She showed up. And she was a spark out there. And I think we really needed that at times.
And the season, of course, has some ebbs and flows, but does this feel like you're starting to hit a good peak right now as you're getting ready to sink your teeth in the Ivy play, a couple wins under your belt?
Yeah, I think it's good to have a couple wins in a row, and I think now we have a huge game on Saturday, and I think the team really had to earn that win tonight. So I think it's good to have that momentum, but still some things to clean up for sure.
Thank you very much for the time. Congrats on the win. Best of luck on Saturday.
Thank you so much.